It is 1 in the morning. You are lying in bed, phone tilted away from the person sleeping next to you, screen brightness turned all the way down. You told yourself 3 chapters ago that this was the last one. You have a meeting in 6 hours. You have responsibilities that do not pause because you stayed up reading. And you already know the next chapter ends on a cliffhanger. You are not a teenager. You are not bored. You are not wasting time. So what exactly is happening to you? Today, we find out. Welcome back to ManhwaPhoenix. This is not a top 10 list. This is not a recommendation video. And this is definitely not a guilty pleasure video, where I tell you it is okay to read manhwa as an adult. You already know it is okay. You do not need my permission. What you might not know is why you need it. Because here is the thing nobody talks about. You have a job. You pay bills. You handle problems that would terrify the version of you that existed 10 years ago. You are, by every measurable standard, a functioning adult. And you spend hours, real hours, inside Korean comics about teenagers who fight monsters and level up. That is not a contradiction. That is a pattern. And patterns have reasons. Today I am going to show you exactly what is happening in your brain when you read manhwa. Why adults specifically, not teenagers, are the ones who cannot stop reading. And why the manhwa that found you probably arrived at the exact moment your real life stopped giving you something you desperately needed. 3 questions. No judgment, just psychology. Let's go. Before we get into the psychology, I want to describe something. And I want you to notice how much of this sounds familiar. You read at night, almost always at night. Not because that is the only time you are free, because that is the only time no one is watching. During the day, you are the version of yourself the world expects to see. The one who answers emails, makes decisions, stays composed. But at night, when the house is quiet and the day has finally stopped demanding things from you, you open your phone. And for the next hour, sometimes 2, sometimes 3, you disappear. You have a tab at work you have minimized more than once when someone walked behind your desk. You have said, "I was just watching something on my phone," instead of, "I was reading a manhwa," because you do not feel like explaining. You have recommended a manhwa to exactly 1 person, maybe 2, no more. Because most people in your life would not understand why a 40-page chapter about a fictional dungeon made you feel something real. And here is the part that confuses you the most. You have read actual books, watched great films, consumed media the world considers serious, and somehow a manhwa hit you harder than all of it. You cannot explain why. Not because you lack the words, because the explanation lives somewhere deeper than language. And that is exactly where we are going. When you were young, the world made a promise. It said, if you work hard, you will be rewarded. If you study, you will succeed. If you are good, good things will happen to you. That promise is the foundation of how every child understands the world. And at some point, different for everyone, but it happens to all of us, the world breaks that promise. You did everything right, and the promotion went to someone else. You made the responsible choice, the safe choice, the smart choice, and the result was nothing, or worse, the same. This is not a tragedy. This is Tuesday. The equation, effort equals reward, and real life breaks that equation daily. Now, open any manhwa with a leveling system. Chapter 1, the main character is weak. Chapter 10, they have trained and are stronger. Chapter 50, they have struggled and the world has recognized it. Effort equals reward every single time. No politics, no favoritism, no invisible barriers. You grind, you level up. You fight, you get stronger. The system is fair, the rules are clear, and the progress is visible. That is not escapism. That is the promise your real life made you, being kept by a fictional world because the real one stopped bothering. Your brain knows the difference. It knows it is fiction. But here is what neuroscience tells us. When you read about a character achieving something after struggle, the same neural pathways activate as when you achieve something yourself. Dopamine does not distinguish between real and fictional accomplishment. So when you finish a chapter where the main character finally defeats the thing that has been destroying him for 50 chapters, your brain gives you a small, real, chemical reward. Not because you are delusional, because your brain is starving for a pattern that your real life no longer provides. And Manhwa delivers it in 40 pages every single week without asking you to sacrifice anything except sleep. So here is the truth. You're not escaping reality because you're lazy or irresponsible or avoiding your life. Your brain is starving for a fair system, one that sees your effort, one that gives you the results your real life quietly stopped providing. That is the broken equation. And now you understand why Manhwa fixes it. But here is the question that takes this further. Why do you gravitate toward one specific genre and not another? Why do you reach for revenge stories on the exact week you felt invisible at work? Why do you open reincarnation manhwa the month everything felt too late to change? Why does a leveling system feel personal when your career stopped rewarding effort? The genre is not random. It is a signal. There are 5 specific hungers that explain every manhwa in your library. And in part 2, we dissect them one by one. If you've ever felt like these stories know you better than your own life does, subscribe and hit the bell. Don't let the algorithm hide the explanation you've been waiting for. Part 2 is already out. Leave a like if you're ready to find out what your brain is trying to reclaim at 1 in the morning. I'll see you there.